Good morning, guys, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic. And we welcome all of you with addiction issues here to this platform. We want this program to work for you. So, again, welcome. If you're on our Facebook Online Peer Recovery Support Group forum, please feel free to share your own experience, strength, and hope, your own words of wisdom through video, through just typing it out, whatever. You never know who needs to hear what you have to say, so definitely want to encourage you to do that. I want to talk this morning about giving up everything and how we give up everything for just one thing. There's a great saying in the room. Addiction is giving up everything for one thing. Recovery is about giving up one thing for everything. And then there's another great saying we've always heard too is, if we just do what's possible, God will do the impossible. So I want to talk about those this morning. Taking you back to July the 7th of 2021, that was my day 2. Day 1 was horrible. The withdrawal symptoms, the tremors, the pressure in my chest. I could hear my heart beating in my eardrums as I was laying down, getting ready to go to sleep. The sweating profusely. I'll never forget it. It was one of the worst days of my life. I woke up July the 7th and bam, it was all gone. And it was like something, I sat up on the edge of bed, something it wasn't an audible voice, but something in my head was telling me, I'm tired of all your bullshit excuses. I want to see just how serious you are. So I'm going to remove all your bullshit excuses, and I want to see what you do with this. I want to give you a clear and open path to sobriety, and I want to see what you do with this. It's kind of like what God was saying to me that morning of July the 7th. And I always, looking back, I always say now that was the moment of my spiritual awakening. What had been going on is, I would drink and my life would start falling apart. I'd see other parts of my life crumbling. I always said I had a front row seat to this movie, which I knew how it was going to end. I was losing everything. My relationship with my kids, my wife, my family, my dogs, my job, everything. I was losing everything. And I'd find myself in this foxhole and I go, oh God, please just, I'm losing everything. Just help me course correct this ship. All right. And God would say, okay, Drew, I want you to give up just one thing. I want you to do what's possible and just give up one thing. He wasn't asking me to give up everything. He wasn't asking me to stop everything. He just wanted me to give up one thing. And I always say that I had a cupcake recovery. I'm still in a cupcake recovery because God just asked me to take care of one thing, and that was my drinking. If I just did what's possible, if I would just apply the steps of AA, and the program of action of Alcoholics Anonymous, if I just do that, he would take care of the rest. And I'm a living testament to the truth behind that. He did. I had always given up everything for one thing, and then I turn around and ask God, hey, God, I want everything back, but I don't want to give anything up. He'd say, sure, okay, I'll help you get everything back, but I just want you to give up one thing. And I couldn't. Actually, I wouldn't give up just that one thing. I would always try. But it wasn't until I came into the program, started working the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, the program of action of AA, that I realized, okay, this is how I give up just that one thing. Think about it. That's all I had to do was give up just that one thing. Was it worth it? Yeah, damn right it was. Absolutely right. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to do for your sobriety? Are you willing to give up everything for just that one thing? Or have you reached a point where you're willing to give up just that one thing and let God take care of the rest? See, that was the point I reached on July the 7th. And again, all my DTs, all my withdrawals, everything was gone that morning. And I was like, shit, God's pretty serious about this. I took off and I haven't looked back. And I have no intention of looking back either. Nobody said recovery was going to be easy. And don't get me wrong, my recovery, while I call it a cupcake recovery, yeah, my life actually got tougher. My sponsor shared that with me. It may get hard. Hell, it may get harder. But at the end of the day, all we're being asked to do is give up just one thing. We were willing to give up everything for that one thing. And now that we want it back, now that we want some semblance of order, are you willing to give up just that one thing? Or what are you willing to give up if not? I said this in a meeting last night. I never met someone who got sober sitting in a bar. Just never met somebody who got sober sitting in a bar. I never got sober myself going to the liquor store. One of the ways on which I got sober was I stopped going to the liquor store, right? I had to do just one thing. And just one thing. And that one thing I had to do was just follow the 12 steps. Bill Wilson lays it all out for me in chapter 5. He lays it all out for me. 12 simple steps. I made the steps so much more difficult than what they had to be back in 2013, 14, and all those years before. I struggled. I totally messed it all up. But it wasn't until I reached the point on July the 5th, as I was taking my last drink, I realized where I was at. I was suicidal. I wanted to die. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to go on. And so I said, okay, July the 6th is going to be my day. And it was. And I'm telling you, it was a hell of a day too. It was like God was letting me know, hey, this is what you had to look forward to. And fortunately, my son's baseball coach sent me a video of a guy named Andy Frisilla. And in this video, Andy is telling me that my life sucks and it's all my fault. He sent me that on my first day. And so I watched this video time and time again on day one. And I was getting pissed off. I was getting so pissed off, I forgot about the pressure in my chest, the racing heart rate, the sky-high blood pressure, the sweating profusely. I forgot about all that because I was so pissed off this video. That video got me through day one. And then, of course, like I said, I wake up on day two, and all that shit's gone. And it was like God was saying, I'm taking away all of your withdrawal symptoms. I'm going to clear your schedule because I want to see how serious you are. What are you willing to give up, Drew? What are you willing to give up? For me, when I realized that, I'm willing to put the work in. I'm willing to do what's possible so I can let God take care of the impossible. And that's the message I want to leave with you today. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to do? What things that are possible are you willing to do in order for God to do the impossible in your life? That's the message I want to leave with you today. I hope you guys have a kick-ass day. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, a sober weekend, a clean weekend. As always, if you need anything, feel free to reach out to us here through Facebook Messenger on the online peer recovery support group. And just remember one important thing, folks. You cannot get drunk if you don't take that first drink.